Good afternoon and welcome to this reflection for Holy Saturday. I'm not usually good at waiting. In fact, I'm ridiculously bad at waiting. But that's what this Saturday is all about. And although I'm terrible at waiting for things, this day has grown in significance for me. The last few years, I've taken part in a physical challenge over the 40 hours between Good Friday and Easter Sunday. We've run on a treadmill, cycled in an exercise bike, climbed with a cross trainer, and every time there's been a sense of waiting, hoping, expecting that the end will come. Holy Saturday is now one of my favourite days. If I'm honest, I think it helps that we know how this story ends, unlike those who lived through that original Easter story. We're going to pick up the story on Good Friday from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 23. It was now about noon, and darkness came over the whole land until 3 p.m, for the sun stopped shining, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Jesus called out with a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." When he had said this, he breathed his last. The centurion, seeing what had happened, praised God and said, "Surely this was a righteous man." When all the people who had gathered to witness this sight saw what took place, they beat their chests and went away. But all those who knew him, including the women who had followed him from Galilee, stood at a distance, watching these things. Now there was a man named Joseph, a member of the council, a good and upright man, who had not consented to their decision and action. He came from the Judean town of Arimathea, and he himself was waiting for the kingdom of God. Going to Pilate, he asked for Jesus' body. Then he took it down, wrapped it in linen cloth, and placed it in a tomb cut in the rock, one in which no one had yet been laid. It was the preparation day, and the Sabbath was about to begin. The women who had come with Jesus from Galilee followed Joseph and saw the tomb and how his body was laid in it. Do you notice how people disappear? At 3 p.m. on Good Friday, we get the sense that there's still a bit of a crowd. Verse 49 says, "All those who knew him, including the women who had followed him from Galilee, stood at a distance, watching these things." But by the early evening, and verse 55, we're left with very few. The women who had come with Jesus from Galilee followed Joseph and saw the tomb and how his body was laid in it. Gradually, people left the scene. Perhaps they couldn't bear to look anymore. Perhaps they were getting ready for the Sabbath. There might be all sorts of good reasons why they slipped away. For us, in our always-on 24/7 365 culture, there's always somewhere to go, someone to see, something to do. But on this Holy Saturday, in the middle of this lockdown, it seems particularly relevant that we have a day where we can experience a full stop. My suggestion is that we take this opportunity to experience that full stop, to feel it, the tension of it, going nowhere, doing nothing, seeing no one. So today, take a few minutes and experience the full stop of Holy Saturday. I realise that if you're at work or have a house full, it might not be easy. But at some point today, take yourself off, your bedroom, your bathroom, your car, and get 5 minutes of stillness. And if it works for you right now, join me going nowhere, doing nothing, seeing no one. See you on the other side.